We're going to talk about your personal collection now, and how many do you think you've got? Oh, don't you know?
Well, I really don't know actually, Gary, because the main thing is that I started off being a collector, but I ended up, like many people, in being a dealer, because
it pays for the collection.
It does, and also, of course, you buy something and it's worth an awful lot more than you paid for it, and you suddenly realise that if you sell that, you can buy an awful lot more, and it just keeps you going.
Yeah.
And I think most people do this.
Specialise in it.
I actually, although we're talking about pens, I actually really branched out into writing equipment, because I really regard myself as a collector of old writing equipment. So that means I include quills, I include the quill knives, quill cutters, pencils, anything to do with writing accessories.
You do biros as well, don't you?
Ball pens, inkwells. Yeah, I think you've got to do ball pens, because what actually happened to me in it must have been about 1994, I met a person called Arthur Twydle, who was...
Arthur Twaddle?
Arthur Twydle, T-W-Y-D-L-E.
Yeah.
And I think he was Twiddle actually, but he changed his name. But his son's still alive and repairing pens. But Arthur was, I was about, I must have been about 60, and he was about 80. So there's 20 years difference. I met him in Chicago, but he was without doubt the pen repairer in the UK. He was running a course on pen repairing, but he also had owned, I don't know how many, I think five shops in Yorkshire, and a very interesting person in any case, but he was regarded as Mr. Penn by most of the manufacturing companies. And it was at that time I actually started to write about things, so the more I wrote, the more I collected, but it was across the range. But going back to your on pens, I really don't know. I must have over, at the moment, in the state waiting for repair or ready for sale, about 500 to 1,000, somewhere like that. Okay. Yeah, what I've got, just one or two that I've collected or I've just had. I showed this is my father's Golden Web. And this actually is a very interesting pen. It's not the actual one I was given, but it is one I was given as a present by my parents when I went to university in Sheffield in 1958. And it is a snorkel. It's a Schaefer snorkel, which was a unique pen, which had the snorkel that comes out, that you fill. It was technically a very good pen, but unfortunately it was a bit complicated, and it was one that I couldn't really use very well when I was...
It's a fountain pen.
It is a fountain pen, yeah. And the interesting thing with fountain pens is there are many different systems for filling them. The earliest ones was just, it was a tube and you put ink in with an eyedropper. They were called eyedroppers. After that, you got a whole series of different filling systems, whether it was a lever fill, a button fill, a snorkel fill, all these different types, different patterns.
Cartridges, didn't they?
Cartridges didn't really, well, glass cartridges were around very early. In 1900, Eagle Pen Company was actually selling in Woolworths glass cartridge pens in the US in 1900. But they really didn't catch on until they were plastic cartridges. And that was post-war, that was about 19 no, 1960 odd.
Yeah, I seem to remember them.
And they came in with Waterman and Schaefer were the leaders, and they were in 5 years before Parker, but Parker cartridges became, with the Parker 45, they finally sold over 80 million pens of the Parker 45. So, but now really all pens are either cartridge or converter.